Are almost there. Here we are. Hello, everybody. Hello, boys and girls. How are you? This is Alejandro Castillo from Mexico City. Today is Friday, April 17th of 2026. Last week, we celebrate my 6th anniversary of this platform, the Volleyball Insider. And today, in the episode 319, I have the pleasure to receive a coach, Benjamin Wallis, from University of Texas at El Paso, and especially because they are hosting tomorrow the International University Volleyball Cup in El Paso, Texas. Benjamin, how are you? It's great to have you here. Thanks again.
Thanks, man. Do I get some sort of certificate or like plaque for being on the 319th episode?
I hope so. I'm working on that. It has been a lot of a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for this. I hope that this year I can reach 350.
Awesome.
It means a lot of work,
Yeah.
but well,
Longevity.
I
Yeah.
love volleyball, so I have no problem.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's exciting for us to be on. We're looking forward to, talking a little bit about our program, what we're doing in El Paso with this collaboration. So fire away, man. Looking forward to it.
No, it's my pleasure, Benjamin. So it was a busy day, right? With all the teams, with seven
Oh
more
my
teams
gosh.
visiting El Paso.
Yeah. We've been doing this in a small scale for about 5 years. I took over this program in 2019, and we've had a couple of teams from Juarez come in the springtime. Last year was the first time we brought a team from further away in Mexico. We brought Viviana Candelas out here with her Protected Monterrey team. They played us in a little bit of a scrimmage the day before, and then we played them in our, what we have normally, a spring tournament where we bring a bunch of teams out and we play. But this year, when Conadip reached out to me and asked if we could collaborate and do something bigger and more special and make it kind of a potentially an annual thing, I was very interested in that. It's been a lot of work. We got the 4 teams across the border with all their visas, and they're here and they're eating dinner and going to get some rest in the hotel. And tomorrow we'll get it rocking and rolling. So it's been a lot, but we're looking forward to playing it tomorrow.
Yeah, right. You mentioned in the last 5 years, but in a small way, right?
In a small way. Yeah, 1 or 2 teams. We've had UTEP has come over from Juarez. We've had a couple. We've had 2 or 3 of the teams in Juarez come over and play, but in a small way. Once or twice they came, but now we have 4 of the best teams in Mexico, the top 4 teams that finished in their federation just this last weekend, and to bring them over here and to really provide them an opportunity to play against some of our American collegiate teams in this part of the country. We have the University of Arizona here. We have the University of New Mexico, New Mexico State University, and then also UTEP, all high-level, top-level collegiate volleyball teams that they'll be playing against. It'll be a tough test for them, but it'll also be a lot of fun and give them a really neat perspective to end their season.
Yeah. So you're receiving my very good friend, John Newman?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, John's a good buddy of mine. I've known John for a lot of years. He's still up in Albuquerque from what he told me. I think he's still working on some collaboration stuff. He's maybe consulting for some people up there. But yeah, I've known John for a lot of years, and he and we talk about, well, we're volley nerds, man. So we get on and nerd out all the time.
I mentioned you that this is my episode 319. John Newman was the first American coach I have here in the show 6 years ago, something like that.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I love it.
If you ask him, he will tell you, yeah, I was in the show of Alejandro. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Volleyball's a small world. It's a big, giant, worldwide, global sport that is growing more popular by the day. But it's a very small community. Everybody knows everybody. When Bibiana reached out to me last year, and I remember competing against her when she was at USC. I told her, I said, we coached you, we played against you when I was a coach at New Mexico State, and so the world of volleyball is small.
Yeah, we think we in the volleyball ecosystem, we wish to be a bigger sport, but really we're smaller than we think, for the good and for the bad, because I have had the opportunity to talk with Karshki Rai twice, I'm not so sure if for a soccer fan it would be easy to have Leo Messi, or for a basketball fan have Michael Jordan. But
Yeah.
here I have had like 18 or 19 Olympic champions.
Yeah, well, that's what's unique about our sport. And I say this to all coaches across every platform, whether they're professional, collegiate, club, high school, middle school. What's nice about our sport that's different from football, basketball, soccer is we don't try to hide our tactics. We're not trying to hide our growth abilities. We're not trying to keep, our secret sauce hidden. We're good at sharing it. And if you can beat us and you can beat us doing the things we're teaching or we're showing, then good for you. Everybody's got the round volleyball and a rectangle court. So, at the end of the day, you got to go out and you got to make it land in there. So we share really well. We're willing to collaborate with people like you. We want to promote our sport. We want, and that's across the board in college volleyball. I mean, we really, really want to help and grow the sport. And I love that about being a college volleyball coach.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, a very, very, very good friend, John Newman, one of the top Mexican players right now who is playing in Poland. Played with him in the Lobos, Ushue Gereka.
Shui Wereka. Yeah, we recruited Shui. We played against her, competed against her. One of her best partners in her growth was Mariano Valle, and Marianne is playing right now, I believe, in Greece. She's not in Greece.
Mariano Valle, the lefty.
Yeah, the lefty.
No,
Zurda.
no, he played in Argentina.
She's in Argentina still. Yeah, she's playing in Argentina. She played here at UTEP for us. She is
Really?
a local player. She's from Juarez, and so we recruited her. We recruited Jui as well, and we also at the same time tried really hard to get Maldonado here as well, but she committed to Arizona. So
She
we
went
tried
to
really hard.
Arizona, first, then
First 10 in Tulum.
transferred to Louisville,
Yes, sir.
and last year she played the semifinal.
Absolutely did. Yep. We tried really hard, and we're no dummies. If there's good players, we're going to try to go get them.
Yeah, I interviewed her alongside Ushua 6 years ago, and last year, the night before the semifinal, Sophie Maldonado was here.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, good kid. Good kid.
What can I tell you? I love volleyball.
Turkey?
Sorry?
Is she playing Turkey?
Sophie Maldonado?
Yeah.
No, she's playing in MLB.
Oh, she's playing in MLB.
With the Dallas Pulse.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, Benjamin, tell us a little about let me understand something, and for all our viewers, you started your season until September, right? Your regular season, August, September. This playing in April is like a preseason for you. How are structured your season or your preseason?
Yeah, the structure of American college volleyball is very different than the rest of the world. I mean, the Mexican structure is very similar to professional volleyball, where they will kind of get ramping up in July and August. They start playing potentially in September and October, and they have a small break, and then they'll finish playing around April. That's kind of like professional volleyball. They'll finish in April or May. The United States, we have a very different schedule where we take two big breaks and we have two separate seasons. We have a competitive season in the fall, and we have a non-competitive season in the spring, where we develop, we train, we do stuff like this, like we're doing tomorrow, where it doesn't count towards our record, but it's all an opportunity to play and compete. So this will not count on our regular record. This is all sort of an exhibition type of spring tournament. And it doesn't count really for anything other than, so I guess you could say, bragging rights and opportunities to develop. We start our season in August, and we start playing in late August, and we go from August all the way until December, and the national championship for collegiate volleyball is in the middle of December. So it's sort of a long season, but it's not a long season around the world, because there's a lot of countries and a lot of places that play all the way from August till April. So that's kind of the structure of college volleyball.
Yeah, the finals are in the same week as the AFCA convention,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. That weekend is the Final Four every year in the middle of December, usually like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 December. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And well, let's talk about a little about the conferences, because you have a lot of conferences. Right now, I think Stanford, USC are playing in the ACC in Atlantic. It's a mess right now. Huh? The Big Ten, the Pac-12 is almost gone. But how is it structured? And you're playing in the Mountain West Conference, right? Or the CUSA?
Yeah, well, we are leaving Conference USA. We're actually leaving fairly soon, and we will be joining the Mountain West Conference this fall. I think we're affiliate members right now. We'll be full-time voting members, I believe, on August 1st. We're leaving a good volleyball conference in Conference USA. We won the conference this last year. We won the regular season. We did not win the tournament, but we went to the NCAA tournament. And we're leaving a conference that has had a team like Western Kentucky in it that has won several conference championships, been to the NCAA tournament several times, really good teams in it. And we're moving to the Mountain West that has very good teams in it as well. And so it's going to be a tough conference move for us, but we're looking forward to it. I figure we'll probably be one of the top 2 or 3 favorite teams in the conference and give us a shot at the end to try to win that sucker in Las Vegas at the middle to end of November.
Amazing. And what about the CUSA conference? It's a little weaker, or what?
No, it's a tough conference. They actually just they're transitioning. They're going to lose us, which will weaken the conference because we were one of the top RPI teams in that conference for several years. That'll weaken the conference strength of schedule. But they also have some really good teams in there still. Liberty's there. They're a very good team. We got Western Kentucky. You've got some New Mexico State is still in that conference. They're perennially a top 100, 20-win team. It's still a tough conference, but us moving from Conference USA over to the Mountain West will definitely strengthen the Mountain West, and it will weaken them in terms of numbers. But I do think that Conference USA will continue to have really good volleyball, especially with Western Kentucky still being there. They're one of the best mid-major teams in the country every year. Travis Hudson's their coach. They've got a great staff. They got great players. They're going to be tough to beat this year, and I think they'll be the favorite to win Conference USA again.
Yeah, I saw your schedule. You're playing UNLV, Nevada, New Mexico, Air Force, San Jose State, UC Davis, Grand Canyon, and Hawaii. And the conference championship will be played in November, right?
Yes, sir. In Las Vegas, Nevada. Yep. Yeah. So it'll be played at UNLV this year. It's just, it's a great site for people to get to, especially in that time frame. And so they're only going to take the top 4 teams in the conference to play. So it'll just be a semifinal and a final to get that automatic qualification into the NCAA tournament.
All right. And what about the national championship? Because I understand a little, but our viewers maybe they have doubts because you have the national championship, the top 4 teams, but not exactly only the champions of 4 conferences, right?
Yeah. It's what's nice about the NCAA tournament is it's starting to be less of a regional feel and more of a real 64-team tournament. So what we always try to explain to the viewers is right now college volleyball still isn't an actual real 64-team tournament. It is kind of a regional 64-team tournament. So in college basketball for women and for men, they seed it 1 through 60, I think 6 now, and they have a couple playing games. They're not doing that yet in college volleyball because of dollars in regional travel and stuff, but it's getting closer and closer. It's getting closer than it ever has been to a real 64-team tournament, and then you will start to really see, I think, some mid-major upsets and some teams that could sneak through, like a Western Kentucky or some of those really good mid-major teams. If we're seeded 1 through 64, I think you could see some real big upsets in college volleyball once that happens.
And what happened with the other sports? I mean, every sport can choose or decide which conference are they playing, or not exactly?
Not exactly. A lot of it has to do with football and basketball TV viewership. One of the major reasons why UTEP switched into the Mountain West was when we got an invitation from that conference. It's millions and millions of dollars that change hand from conference to conference in order to make sure that we have really special TV deals for football, basketball, and for our top major viewership sports. And so a lot of that decides the conference alignment. That's why you see teams like Stanford and USC and UCLA going all the way to an Eastern Coast conference like the Big Ten or the ACC, because a lot of that is about viewership and about the strength of conference for football and for basketball. That's just the way things are when it comes to revenue sports. So we were lucky enough to get an invitation from the Mountain West because of our geography, our fit, our market, our big city, and because we got some good teams. And so we're looking forward to joining that conference and making it stronger.
And talking about that matter, which is very, very interesting. Um, how is it, your opinion about the impact of the transfer portal for college sport in the USA?
Yeah, it would just depend on the coach that you were talking to on this podcast. If it was a basketball coach, it would feel really different right now because the basketball portal is open,
Yeah.
and someone told me today, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but someone told me today that 40% of Division I basketball players are on the transfer portal right now. 40%. There are whole teams that have no players, right? So that's crazy. Football, on the other hand, has changed a little bit and kind of mellowed out a little bit in some ways because they only have one portal opening now. So
Wow.
they don't have two like they used to. So right now, this time last year, football was about to be a train wreck again and crazy because they had their second portal opening. Volleyball has been, for some, very impactful. For others, it doesn't really factor in a whole lot. I mean, for our program, the transfer portal has not really affected us, and we haven't really tried to have it affect us. We try to go out and get young people, freshmen, in every class and develop them and keep them here. We just graduated 5 seniors that played 5 years for us, which is not normal anymore. So we go graduate, players that have been in our program a long time. So it really just kind of depends on the sport. It depends on the coach. And it depends on if you want to go and grab people out that portal or if you want to develop your own players. And can you keep them now? That's the real important piece of the transfer portal is, can you keep them? Are you providing a great environment for them? Are you training them, coaching them up, and developing them and giving them an opportunity to grow their brand and give them an incentive to want to stay?
Well, when you talk about some teams and some sports, 40% of the roster is leaving. How do you imagine a head coach can handle that and the athletic director? It's a chaos, right?
Yeah, it's chaos. It's chaos. I'd say it all the time. Scotty Walden's our football coach here, and Joe Golding is our men's basketball coach. Keith Agree is our women's coach. I don't want to live in their shoes. I don't want to have to worry about replacing or revamping 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% of my roster from year to year because I'm a teacher. I love to teach. I love to train. I love to develop. I want to know. I mean, if I turn this over and I showed you my board over here, I've got all of my training stuff for the spring up here for my players on what I got to do to get them to go from point A to point B by the end of April and early May. I can't do that with somebody that's leaving my program and coming every 6 months because I don't have enough time to teach and develop them. So I don't want to have any part of it. So all I do is with my staff is we focus on young people. We try to go get really good young athletic freshmen and develop them and try to keep them here as long as we can in the Sun City. And so far, we're doing a pretty good job of that.
Wow. Yeah, I think we can talk for hours about transfer
Hours.
portal. Yeah, right. And we are talking of transfer portal. What about Neil? I mean, Neil obviously is more for football and men's basketball, but it's affecting in some way to other sports than football and basketball.
Yep, yep, it is. I mean, it's affecting us. The name, image, and likeness (NIL) is affecting everyone. The way it's affecting women's volleyball right now is that you're starting to see some, 6-figure deals that are taking place in college volleyball. No one would have thought 5 years ago that women's college volleyball would be having young women make, $100,000, $200,000 to go play college volleyball anywhere. But it's happening. I think in some ways it's good for the sport. I don't love the idea of how some of that happens behind the scenes, but I think it's great for our players to be able to market themselves, to be able to, we've had a lot of players on our team in the city of El Paso that are on 2 or 3 commercials. They're selling their own brand. They're having people come and, and invite them to speak at their engagements, and they're paying them money to be able to do that. I mean, at the end of our season, we won a championship. We won 20 games plus, and we went to the NCAA tournament. So all those players that came back in our program in January for us got paid because they earned all those opportunities, because they stayed here. They are committed to UTEP, and they made some money for great grades and for playing at a high level, because we can do that now, which is exciting. I think that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, I got $2 million and I'd love to bring you over here from wherever, but that's just kind of an advantage for some programs. You know, it is a significant advantage for some programs, and if you have that and you have that money to spend, then why wouldn't you go do it? You know, it is what it is. We better deal with it and get ahead of it and not whine and moan about it, because it's here to stay, unfortunately. And hopefully we start to find a better way to navigate it down the road. But I like how we're navigating it here. The Mountain West is a revenue conference, so if you win in the Mountain West, you can make some money to distribute to your program and to your players. And so I'm looking forward to competing for championships in the Mountain West.
Do you think there could be some female volleyball players that can make six figures?
Easy. There are already. Yeah,
Really?
there are players right now in college volleyball making over $100,000. One,
Wow.
I know for a fact, off the top of my head, I can think of 5 or 6 people, and I wouldn't name them, but I know there are multiple players in college volleyball making 6 figures right now.
All right. Wow. Amazing.
It's bonkers. Yeah, you would never know, but that's what's enticing a lot of these players to leave, to pick up and go, and say it's just like the football and basketball guys. Like there's a Instagram post out there right now about what each of the positions in college basketball are worth if you're on the portal. Okay, so if you're a volleyball player and you're thinking, you know, that you don't love where you're at, or maybe you want to go market yourself, you want to try to, you know, do something for yourself for your last year, and you know what you think you're worth, you go put yourself on the portal and you see how much money you can make. That's just kind of where it is right now. I don't love it. Nobody does, but it's the nature of where college athletics are right now. And so we better get ahead of it and face it, or else we're going to get behind it and we're going to be left in the dust.
Yeah, right. Well, I understand that. And we in Mexico, we are light years away from that kind of problems right now, for the good and for the bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's just kind of where things are. There's some proposals in our country's legislature
Yeah.
that is starting to maybe potentially make some rules where players in collegiate athletics could play 5 years, and that's it. 5 years to play 5 years. There's also a proposal out where they could only transfer one time.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's some stuff out there. We don't know if it's going to get passed. We don't know if anybody's going to buy into it, or if it's going to, you know, take hold. But at the end of the day, all I do is control what I can control. I coach my team. I coach the players that I have hard. I give them an incentive to want to stay here and play here. And that's all that all of us can do, is just make sure we take great care of them while they're here.
Right. Ben, if you are okay, I want to talk about recruitment, a little about recruitment. I
Absolutely.
was, this is going to be my third year attending the AAU National Championships in Orlando.
Okay.
Uh, I go there as a staff. Um, it's an amazing tournament because there are a lot of courts, like, well, this year, like 150, 160. Last year, like 8,000 teams. It's crazy.
It's
Uh,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. And I know usually USA Volleyball, they have their tournaments, but how I want to understand that for our viewers, of course, uh, what about the rules of recruiting for people like you, like head coaches of Division 1 programs, to go to these type of tournaments like USAV and AAU, and to approach the players, or to approach the head coaches, or to approach the parents? Can you tell us a little about that, about the process of recruiting for you?
Yeah, those tournaments have sometimes a little different rules than regular recruiting. So
Yeah.
the simple way to talk to you about the recruiting rules is that if a player is a junior or a senior in their interscholastic you know, timeline, we're allowed to communicate with them starting on June 15th of their junior year. So all these players that are sophomores right now, they're about to finish their year, and they're about to be juniors come August of the next year. In June of this summer, we'll be able to start speaking with those sophomores. That 2028 class, the class of 2028, will start to speak to them, communicate with them freely. We have no restrictions in June. So when you go to one of those tournaments, you can communicate with juniors and seniors of any sport, of any of any club, freely. And generally, the rule is when you're there, you kind of wait for them to finish playing, or communicate through their coach. Once the tournament's over, you can have conversations with them. But for the most part, it's open communication now with those two classes of players. So anybody in those classes you can really communicate with. If they're sophomores or below, you're not really supposed to have any kind of communication with them whatsoever, other than evaluating them. So with those classes, you go to those tournaments, and once you're done focusing on the juniors and the senior classes, those 27 and 26 classes, you're really just evaluating those other players and trying to collect data, put them in a database to make sure once you get to June 15th the next year, you're ready with a big, large list of people that you want to try to communicate with and recruit. So it's a very important piece of college athletics. It's the lifeblood of what we do, is having young people in a database and ready in a pipeline for us to be recruiting. And right now we're done with our 26 class. They're coming in July. We've completed our 27 class already.
Really?
And
Wow.
we've got them coming, and we're really focused heavily on our 28 class, like a lot of people are. And on June 15th, we'll get a chance to start communicating with them, which is we're excited for.
I remember some matches in the AAU, the very big and important matches. Uh, I remember seeing like 20 or 25 head coaches doing
Yeah.
scouting in one match. The match ends and they go
And there
away.
you go. It's like
Wow.
watching ants just like scatter. Yeah. I mean, the nature of college athletics in the United States right now is the best it's ever been,
Yeah.
in terms of athlete, in terms of training, the club systems in the United States right now are producing some of the most talented and spectacular athletes you've ever seen in the sport. It's a big reason why the United States can continue to produce such high-level international players,
Yeah.
professional players. It's a very exciting time to be a coach in college athletics, because we have this giant database of people in our country that love to play volleyball, and many of them are playing from a very young age. So when you go to a tournament like that, it's almost overwhelming if you're a young coach to go, how in the heck am I supposed to compete with
Yeah.
all these other coaches that are here? But at the end of the day, you start to figure out what type of player fits your program, what type of athlete fits your program, and then you go out and you just pursue those, and you do your best to try to recruit those players. And so, luckily, we're having a pretty good little run of finding those types of players here in the Sun City.
Yeah, and well, talking about AAU, you can watch girls from 11 and 12 years,
Yeah.
and it's a pipeline you're talking about, right? Hopefully, they are the same players that will play for 17th or 18th few years later.
Yeah, and and a lot of those young teams are very impressive now. I mean, I just actually was able to. I was fortunate enough to be asked by our region, here in our server region in this area, to go help run an all-star tryout. So I was there just to evaluate, right? And I went, and then I got to see 12, 13, and 14, no, 11, 12, and 13-year-old young people in this region, West
Oh,
Texas, El Paso, New Mexico, just do an all-star tryout. And I was very impressed with the level of volleyball player that this region is producing at those ages. It's because they're starting earlier, they're extremely athletic, they're playing a lot of different sports, which is cool. But the sport of college volleyball in the United States is in really good hands, because we're really producing some high level players right now, which is really exciting to see.
yeah. When I arrived 2 years ago for the first time to Orlando, to see 2,050 courts and almost 8,000 teams, it's insane. It's
It is
crazy.
insane. It is insane. And that's the big scale. Like AAU, the AAU national tournament is the biggest scale.
Yep.
But there are tournaments like that every weekend across the United States,
Yeah,
in every major city,
I
where
know.
you go to a convention center and you see 150 courts of young people playing volleyball in two waves. So there's 150 courts times four teams in two waves. There's a morning wave and a PM
Yeah,
wave.
yeah.
And so you're talking about 500 teams, 600 teams that are playing in every major city every weekend across the country. And that is why we're really producing some spectacular volleyball players right now.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, or you have the Big South in Atlanta and the
Yep.
Windy City Classic in Chicago, and all the tournaments are packed all the time.
All of them, yeah, are packed. Absolutely. And they're happening every weekend. So it's good for us. Honestly, from a college coach's standpoint, we would like for those tournaments to start ending earlier. I think the only downside to the club volleyball calendar is that it's too long.
Yep.
I would love to see those tournaments wrap up in April and May, have a national tournament like AAU in May, and
Wow.
then give them June and July to rest their bodies, to do other things, to go on vacations with their families, to get away from volleyball. That's the only downside to it, is that there's just too much and
Yeah.
it's too long. And so if we could find a way to put our heads together and shorten that season a little bit by a month, month and a half, I think it would really impact and help the players with their mental health, physically. It would help them come to us in better shape. We're getting a lot of players that have some bumps and bruises and overuse injuries when they get here as young people. And I really think that's the only downside to it.
Are you attending Orlando this year?
I'm not. No, no, we're not. Our class has been done for a while. We're not going to go out to AAUs this year, but we will be at USAV Nationals. We're just not going to go all the way out to Orlando, all the way from El Paso, unless we have a big group of people playing out there.
All right, amazing. Ben, tell us a little about them. How can I tell this? MLB and Love are boosting the college volleyball, or the college volleyball is boosting MLB and Love.
Yeah, both. I think that they should have a symbiotic relationship. They should have a relationship that promotes each other. I think it's great for our young people in our country and the international players that come play here to think, man, maybe I could have a collegiate career and stick around and play professionally in the United States for a while. That's special. That's only happened in the last 3 or 4 years where people start to get excited about the draft.
Yeah,
Before, really the only people that could think about being drafted to play professionally were collegiate basketball players and football players. There wasn't ever a draft in many other sports except the Major League Baseball draft, but really that didn't impact college. That impacts more high school
yeah,
and junior college and stuff. So I think it's special. I mean, it's really cool for young players to aspire to play like these pros that they're seeing in major cities. It's also nice for our players here domestically to know that they could live in a big city like a Dallas or a Phoenix or a Minneapolis or all these big cities in the United States that have very good teams. It helps them know they can live in a big city and not have to go overseas,
yeah,
play for a small club in a country that's in a little tiny village or in a little tiny town.
yeah.
It's just a better quality of life for them. And so I love it. I think it's exciting for us as college coaches that we can get our players to aspire to doing that. And it also, I've noticed more of our collegiate players watching the MLB or Love or any of these professional leagues more and more and more, and just getting nerdier and watching it and wanting to talk about it on the weekend and say, "Hey, are you ready to watch the matchup between the Supernovas and so and so on Wednesday?" So it's been fun for our players to see that quality of volleyball as well.
Yeah, and yesterday there were the first game of Love, and tomorrow will be the second. I think it's amazing because a few years ago, the players, the American players, both male and well, especially female, the only option was go overseas, but
Yeah,
not all of them go to Italy or Japan.
that's right.
They went to Sweden or England or Denmark, very, very, very small leagues. I think not professionally in a lot of countries like that, but they can study an MAV or something like that. But I think it's great for them to have two, not one, but two choices right now in the United States.
Yeah, yeah. I think the best thing that everybody would love to see is those two leagues join. I think it would be great for those two leagues to join and maybe collaborate on something. I don't know how close they are on doing something like that, or if that's even something that they're working at. I know that there's a lot of complex details when it comes to both those leagues, but It would be awesome to not have to compete with each other for sponsorship and financial backing and notoriety. But also, it's just cool that we have two opportunities for our players to stick around here and play in those leagues. It's something that I'm sure our 10-year ago players would have loved to have had as an opportunity, and they're probably sitting there now as moms with their kiddos going, man, this would have been really cool for us, 10 years ago to do something like that. So we're excited for it. We support it. We love it. We're hoping to. I thought we were really close to having our first player be drafted last year before Kaya Weaver, one of our All-American middles, got injured. But I thought she would have gotten drafted had she got not injured. But she's going to go play professionally. She actually just got clear this weekend to do some stuff with our team. So we're going to have 3 of our senior graduating players go play professionally here soon. So we're pretty fired up about that.
Cool, very cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
And Ben, what about the international recruiting? I know you have right now one foreign player. Um, do you have uh, how many international players do you have in the past, and how are you working in the future to have more and helpful players for you?
Yeah, we are big into international recruiting. We've had as many as 4 on our roster at the same time. When I was first year, we recruited a young lady from Latvia. We've had 3 Serbians. We're about to have we have a Czech player that's committed to us in 27, a Canadian player that's committed to us in 27. We had a Italian middle that came and played for us for a couple years before she transferred and still communicates with us and loves our program. So we currently have a Serbian on our roster. We had a Mexican player in Mariano Valle. We love our international recruits, and we have a staff member, Nikola Petrovic, who's from Serbia. He coaches. He's been here as long as I have at UTEP. I hired him specifically to go out and get us one good, real good international player per year. And we have another recruiting coordinator, Courtney Johnson, on our staff who does our domestic recruiting. So we have people on our staff that are specifically designated to go out and tackle those and stay focused on those areas. So we want to go find really good international players every year. We focus on very specific qualities for them that fit into the culture that we build here at UTEP. But it's a big, important deal for us. We're lucky that we're getting really, really good Texas kids now in our state. Texas volleyball is some of the best club volleyball in the country.
I know.
We're getting really good Texas players to stay at home, but we also want to continue to supplement those recruiting classes with 1 or 2 really good international kids per year.
Yeah, a lot of people here in Mexico think that volleyball is only big in California and in Florida, but
Oh no,
Texas, you're big.
it is big, and it's a big giant state. I mean, and it's blown
You,
up
you,
everywhere.
you have 2 regions in Texas.
Yeah, yeah, we do. We do. We have 3. We have the Eastern. We have an Eastern time zone all the way over there. We have the Central time zone, and then we have the Mountain time zone. And so it's like, holy smokes! We drive to see my family every year out in North Carolina, and it takes us a whole day and then a half to get through Texas. We drive all the way through Texas for a day and a half, and then we finish the rest of the United States the other day. So it's a big old state, man. There's really good volleyball in the state of Texas, and we're getting some really good ones right now.
And by the way, let me tell you that I love Serbians. I think I know a lot of Serbians from volleyball. I love them. They are great people. One of the greatest people I know around the world. I love
Yeah,
Serbians.
well, they love volleyball there. They grow up wanting to play volleyball. I mean, basketball and volleyball in Serbia are king. And if you when you grow up, you play those sports. And we were laughing with our Serbians the other day. They love their basketball and they love their volleyball, and they're very good at it. And they devote their time and energy to it. So we love to keep them coming here.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's been an amazing talk, Ben. Now let's talk about the tournament.
Okay.
There are 8 teams, including UTEP. Um, One thing that was curious for me, I understand now a little with the things you said earlier. You are playing initially. I was aware that you are playing 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, but last week I saw no, we are only playing Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Can you explain something about the structure of the tournament and the goals of the tournament?
Yeah, the goals really are just to grow the sport of volleyball internationally across two borders in our region.
Yeah.
We know there's good volleyball in Mexico. We know there's good volleyball in the United States, and we wanted to kind of collaborate on something that we think could turn into something special down the road. Now, the difference between where Mexican Federation volleyball is and where ours is that they're two different time frames.
Yeah.
We play competitively in the fall. They finish their season competitively in the spring. So I don't think we're ever going to collaborate to a place where we
Mhm.
could see two national champions play each other because of the time frames. But what we can do is get really good teams and together in the Sun City for several years and do something fun as an invitational. So what we decided to put our heads together with Hugo, with Diego Triana, who is one of our students here at UTEP. He's actually working with CONADEEP,
Yep.
is to put together an invitational tournament with good American teams, and the top four finishing teams in the CONADEEP Federation. And it's worked out really well so far. And I think this year we're going to play each other in a very different format where all four American teams will play all four Mexican teams, and we'll have an eventual invitational champion just on the Mexican side. Okay, so they'll be awarded some kind of trophy or award to say you're the invitational tournament champion. Okay, on that side. In the future, we would like to make it more of a tournament style where we match up everybody, and if winners win, they move up to play winners, and if losers lose, they go down to play those losers, and we make it more of a bracket and a tournament style. So we're going to keep putting our heads together and figure out what that looks like in the future. But for this year, all four of those teams, the top four finishers, will play all four of our American collegiate teams that are here. And then at the end of that, everybody's going to go home and get their playing in, and we're going to end up playing the University of Arizona in our last spring match at 3 p.m. So it'll be
Yeah.
fun. We're playing all at the same time. So we have four courts up. All 8 teams will be playing on 4 matches at the same time. 90-minute matches. We'll play a best out of 3. And
Best of
if you
three.
win 2 sets, you're done. And if you split, you play a third set to 15, and then you move on to play the next team. So it's sort of like a round robin, very
Yeah.
similar to CONADEEP's um, championships, which are
Yeah.
very
Last
similar.
week, yeah, we
Yeah,
call it the Final Four. It's not exactly the
so this
same Final Four format of you, but yeah, it's a round robin.
Yeah, so it's a round robin. So I mean, Tec de Monterrey lost their first match. They were undefeated. They lost to the other Monterrey team,
Yeah.
and they still were national champions though because they had more wins in the round robin. So they were crowned the national champion. So that's kind of the similar style that we built,
All
but
right.
that doesn't mean that that's the way we're going to keep it moving forward. I think we could maybe even get more teams and play more of a bracket style and get maybe 10 or 12 teams and kind of play each other that way. So we're looking forward to it, though. We really want to grow. We've had a lot of great response. Our Mexican teams are really having fun. They're really excited. They're joyful to be here, and they earned it. Which is kind of cool. I mean, those top four finishers were told if you get one of these top four seeds, you get an invitation to El Paso, and they're excited to be here.
Amazing, great. And what about the response of the fans? Are you going to stream the
Yeah,
games? Well, let me tell you first, you are very, very lucky because, as you may know, a very, very few colleges here in Mexico have four courts.
I
But
know.
it's
I know.
different. It's different over there. But what about the fans? I know you are, there's a general admission of $5. That's not the goal, I know, of course,
Yeah,
but
it's not the goal at all. Yeah, we really don't ever charge for our spring stuff, but because this event's going to be so big, we actually have security. We have ticket takers. We have a bit. I mean, we've already sold over 1,000 tickets, whether it be season ticket holders that get into our matches. We have 1,000 season ticket holders for our matches. We average 1,000 season ticket holders. Well,
oh,
that's amazing to come watch college volleyball in our city, in our venue. We actually average over 1,700 people per match. So that's on average, we have 1,700. We sold our venue out over 3,500 people 5 times in the last 3 years. So
wow.
we have a lot of people in the city that come watch college volleyball. So I would anticipate there will be well over 1,000 people in the stands tomorrow watching the four courts go. We have a really cool venue that can support that. and we're going to have concessions. It's going to be an event, and it's going to be a really cool feel. We'll have music playing. Our gym is called the Club for a reason. It's called Club Memorial.
All right.
We have a resident DJ that DJs all of our matches. So it's a pretty cool environment, and it's gonna be a fun environment tomorrow.
Are you going to stream on YouTube or something like that?
I've been working with Kona Deep. We're gonna try to stream some of the matches for those Mexican teams that are trying to get that back home. We don't have any streaming links yet because we're trying to figure out how to do that on four courts. You know, you don't want to favor
Yeah.
anybody, but we definitely are going to have some social media content and some social media interaction. We have officials from Kona Deep that are here that are going to be doing all kinds of interviews and some fun interactive things with our teams. We're looking forward to that.
I don't know if you are aware, but this weekend also the men's
Man,
championship
yeah.
is going to be played in Chihuahua, very close to El Paso.
Yeah. We've been trying really hard to find the right weekend and the right
Yeah.
date to do this. We've actually been working really hard with Diego and with Hugo to try to find the right time frame for this. And they're doing so much right now. And we're actually really working hard to try to make this happen on the soccer side. So we're trying to maybe work with our soccer team here at UTEP to get a very similar type of invitational done for soccer in the future. So we're putting our heads together. We are trying to collaborate and grow our relationship and also our relations with Mexico and with Juarez and those teams. And so we're really excited about this. This is something that we love. The borderland is a very big international feel. It's a melting pot. So is our team. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow to lace it up and play a sport that everybody loves, but also just to celebrate our relationship here on the border.
Uh, yesterday they sent me a picture of the trophies. They are amazing. Have you seen that?
Cool. Yeah, they're really cool. I saw one of them. They're all bedazzled up and they look pretty cool. So I'm excited. We're gonna present those to whoever has the highest number of match wins or set wins at the end of it. And who knows? It could be Cetis. It could be Nueva Leon. It could be any of those four. Pretty exciting
Yeah.
time for those guys. But I think it's gonna be fun for them to wrap their season up.
All right. Ben, it's been a great time with you. I'm very glad to meet you. I wish you all the best for the event tomorrow. And I have two more questions for you. Especially living in the border, which is your favorite Mexican food?
Oh, I love it. See, I'm from this area. I've lived here almost my whole life, and so I love. There's a restaurant in Las Cruces called Andale's Doghouse that's got very New Mexico style of Mexican food. But here in El Paso, we love the Riviera. It's a very Mexican style of feel. And then if you go a little closer to the border, there's very traditional Mexican food, which we also love. If you ask my wife what Mexican food she loves the most, she would say all because she just Mexican food on a daily basis. And so we're lucky to have some really, really good places in town. We take a lot of our recruits over to Leo's. There's so many good places here, and that's one of the benefits of being right here on the border. But we love them.
It's like 1 million people in El Paso. You told me.
Yeah, there's lots of good places to eat, and you know what? And not even just Mexican food. There's just so many great places to eat that are not traditional American food. There's so many different flavors and types of people here in town. It's a great place to find some good food across all different types of cultures.
Ben, I wish you the best for tomorrow, to you and for all your staff, for all the UTEP athletic department. One final words for all the people that will see us, are seeing you right now live and later taped.
Man, if you're in the borderland tomorrow, if you're in Juarez, come on over and watch some real good volleyball. If you aren't in the area, look forward to just this really cool feel. We got two countries that are right next to each other that really should be collaborating more with more different opportunities for sport, for not sport. We look forward to that collaboration with Conadip and continuing to build that relationship for years to come. I want to thank Rick with Van Wagner, who's really helped this, Hugo Duran, the president of CONADIP, and Diego Triana, who's worked really hard here from UTEP to make this possible. And also my staff. I mean, my staff's been busting their butt today, running around. We got a lot of people working hard today to make this happen. So we're looking forward to rock and rolling tomorrow. So thanks for having me, and look forward to doing this again. 319. Hopefully I get some kind of certificate or something for 319.
All right. Well,
I'll tell John he was number one. Is that what he was on, or he was the first American?
the first American coach.
Okay, got it. I love it.
The first American was an MC, Rob
Okay.
Storr, the Filipino guy from Los Angeles, and Jeremy Rocher, the DJ of the Los Angeles Lakers and the DJ of the AVP. Very nice guy. I love him. But the first American coach was John Newman.
Was John Newman. All right, I'll call him right now after we're done, and I'll tell him that he's famous.
Perfect. Okay, thanks a lot, Ben. I hope to meet you pretty soon in some place.